The last time Mrs. Borden was last seen alive was around 9 o'clock a.m. by her stepdaughter, the infamous Lizzie Borden, and the maid, Bridget. At the time of her death, Lizzie's sister, Emma, was out of town. Mr. Borden was down in Falls River, as was Uncle John. Lizzie said she was downstairs, ironing handkerchiefs. Mrs. Borden was killed in the same room that her Uncle John had slept in the night before. This is the most requested room in the Lizzie Borden Axe, Murder, and Museum, the John Morris Room, aka the Murder Room. There was no signs of a struggle, and she had no defensive wounds. Peculiar, isn't it? The evidence is unclear whether she was facing her attacker and didn't fight back or couldn't, or whether she was standing or kneeling. But what we do know is where the wounds were. The first wound struck her above the ear in the back of the head. The second wound struck her back here between the shoulder blades. The last 17 wounds were in the back of the head and the neck, making a total of 19 blows. She was eventually found face down in a pool of coagulated blood. Between the blood and the stomach contents of both victims, we can put the time of death around 9:30, a full hour and a half before Mr. Borden. In the photo on the wall in the dining room where the autopsy was performed, you can see her lying face down on her stomach with a pool of blood around her head. In the mirror, you can see the camera that was used to take the photos. Did you know that the Borden crime scene photos were the first photos of a crime scene taken in the United States? How's that for a fun, morbid fact?